So, as many of you may have seen, yes, Melody Parade is graduating in less than 3 weeks. Hello, I hope you're having a nice day, and I hope that I am not here to ruin your nice day. This is going to be a long video, so probably grab a snack and some tea, a coffee, some water. I've got my large orange boy to drink water. All right, let's get into it. You guys asked me 56 questions. 56 questions. 56. If I spent a minute answering each question, this video would be 56 minutes long. Luckily for you, it's not. Melody Parade announced that we are graduating all together, all 4 of us, about a week or so ago, and I knew that there'd be like a pretty big conversation about it because this has been a huge part of our lives for the past 3 years, and a lot of you know me for idol stuff. So I put up some questions on a question box on Instagram for you to be able to ask me questions about the graduation, and I'll be answering them today. I thought it's the best way to kind of put this into a video rather than spamming my story and probably filling the entire screen with writing, because there is so many feelings and so much complicated emotions behind our activities and of course the end of our group. The way I'm gonna structure this, because I got like 56 questions, I've lumped all the like related ones together so that it's easy to follow. So first we're gonna go back to the past, we're gonna go to the present, we're gonna relive some happy favorite memories, then we're gonna talk about the future, okay? I really want to talk about the impact for a little bit, and then at the end just some random ones that I couldn't really categorize very well. I'm gonna start off with this one, pretty relatable. No, just kidding. So Dust to Dust Cause asked, how are you feeling after the announcement? Are you all doing okay? And yes, the answer is we are all doing okay. Of course we are a little bit upset about things coming to an end, but it's quite a bittersweet feeling because it's kind of like a sense of relief in knowing that the group is coming to a happy ending and it's not one on bad terms. So we're all kind of like making the most of this final few weeks together. We were able to do 2 shows together knowing that we were graduating, and they were really good, and now of course we still have our graduation life coming up. Pastel Kitsu asked, how did the decision come about? And I hope that that's not too much to ask. I don't think it's too much to ask considering we've shared so much of our journey online already. I feel like it's fair to kind of let you know the truth of really honestly what's going on behind the scenes. And the truth is that we've been together for 3 years, right? And during those 3 years, a lot of us have been studying, we've been at uni, and it's a very like short period of time before obviously like life kind of changes. It's a huge fork in the road when you finish uni and you graduate and then you're supposed to move into, I don't know, whatever's next, whether that's work or life changes. Like there's just so many unknowns. So kind of in the same way, if you can think about Love Live, the way that the 3rd years had to graduate from high school, they then broke up Muse because they wanted to stick together as Muse. Kind of the same thing though, our decision making. I've just finished my bachelor's degree and it means that I want to move away from my hometown, Brisbane, and that just means that we can't stay together anymore, unfortunately. I think everything has a due time of when, you know, when it's right, when you don't want to be pushing things when it doesn't work anymore. And I think that we were so lucky to live so many of our dream experiences together, we got to do together. So the decision really came about through mutual like agreement that it was time everyone's moving on with their lives, in terms of like not being able to commit unfortunately to idols, because Melody Parade, while we've shared maybe a lot of the highlights and like a lot of the performances, the costumes, the shining, the sparkles, we don't always share the hard work and the administration, the logistics of organizing things behind the scenes. And when I tell you that this has become like a full-time job, it feels like to me, because obviously I'm so passionate about it and want to do everything that I can to make it as good as I can. It's ended up turning into quite a job. And of course there's like a bit of opportunity cost, there's a sacrifice in that. It means that I haven't maybe been able to do my business, my sewing, my commissions as much as I wanted to, because I put so much energy and time and effort into the group, and the other girls are the same. They've had to sacrifice a lot of the other interests in order to come together and do Melody Parade, make Melody Parade happen. Krista Lemons asked, how was melopara formed? So if you don't know, let me explain. Back in the day, I used to run a Love Live group called Aquaria, and we sort of disbanded around around 2019, but right before we disbanded, T and Bethla actually joined in to fill the spot of like 2 of the members, and then they ended up loving it so much we sort of decided, hey, I don't want to stop doing this yet, I really want to try out doing original stuff together. What if we formed a group together? So I think it was kind of the remnants of Aquaria, of a Love Life group, that then built the drive to then make our own original group, Melody Parade, and there were a few other groups doing it at the time, so we were inspired by what they were doing, and we thought we could do it as well. And while we're in the past right now, I'm gonna acknowledge this because I did get 3 people asking about the pink member that left the group and asking if we're still friends with Rinzi, if we're still in contact with Rinzi, and I'm just gonna say no, we're not. Unfortunately, we're not anymore. Rinzi hasn't been in the group in almost 2.5 years, so I don't consider a part of Melody Parade anymore. I'm so sorry. Moving into the present now, a lot of you asked what my favorite memory or moments would be from the group, and also what like lessons I've learned while being in the group. I probably have to pick, it's so hard to pick a favorite memory. I think I have lots of little memories, moments that I really love, like every time that I finished a costume set and got to like try it on with everybody and see the design really brought to life from them wearing it, and having designed it specifically for each member, then being able to see them come into that and for the purpose of a performance or a photo shoot, be able to wear that. That was something really special every time, seeing them kind of like their eyes light up in anticipation of the performance that was coming. Another favorite moment of mine was I remember when we first got contacted by our producer Honeychurch to make original music. This is back when T and I lived together in an apartment, and one day I was just sitting there sewing when I had just said to T, I was like, man, I wish we could find a producer to help us make music. And it's literally, I asked the universe because I got an email on my phone, the notification popped up saying, hello, my name is Honeychurch, would you consider making original music? and that ended up blossoming into a fantastic relationship, which we then were able to create Me and I Melody with Gus. In terms of lessons, I've definitely learned a lot from this experience. I feel like anybody who works in a group learns a lot more than they would doing solo, just because you're interacting with other people's ideas. You're having a bit of conflict usually when it comes to creative ideas, and you really learn and grow a lot, not just based off your own values, but other people's beliefs as well. So I feel like I really learned so much through my time in a group, so much about communicating with the other members, about what our goals are and how processes work and how to do event management. I feel like you can also really see that I've learned a lot in designing in terms of like sewing. I've gotten a lot more confident through being able to make costumes for the group. I think the most important lesson though that I've learned is about happiness and doing things that make you happy, and I guess chasing that meaning and that purpose in life, because I don't know if I could have done all of this on my own. I don't know that I'm not. I know a lot of people think that I'm very motivated and determined, but I really question whether or not it's a kind of people-pleasing tendency where I really want to make my friends happy. I want to make them feel excited for things and help them do whatever it takes to make a successful photo shoot, make a successful costume set, anything that comes around idling. And even within the greater community, I always felt safer inside of a group because we could just focus on what we had going on rather than worrying about the greater community all the time. It's kind of hard to like put it into words because it's such a complicated feeling, like I said before, but I don't know that if I'd be able to do this on my own, but honestly, it's something that I really want to find out now moving forward. So let's get on to the future then, shall we? Grumpy Sushi asks, are you going to continue being an idol? A few of you asked this kind of question, like, is this the end of Idol Marmalade? Or are individual idol activities still on the horizon? Will some of you still perform in the future? This kind of thing. Will y'all still be doing individual activities going forward? Yes. And I think each of us have our own response to this question, but I can only give you what my plan is moving forward. So if you have been following me for a little while, you might know that I have been in groups for the past 8 years. So 8 years, pretty much my entire adult life, which means I've never really had the space as a solo creator to do things by my own I don't know, boundaries, I guess. I've always worked within a group setting, whether that was Aquaria with the Love Life group, then into Secret Chew for Original Idols, and now Melody Parade with Original Idols as well. So I'm really excited to honestly see what I'm capable of on my own. And I know that that can sound quite selfish, but I'm trying really hard not to see it that way, because I've given, oh, I'm gonna cry. I've given so much of myself to other people across the years. And of course there's a great side to that. There's a great side to that because I've gotten a lot back as well. But I feel like I've really got to now go out on my own and discover what things I like and what I want to do and what makes me happy as an individual. And whether that's idol performing, I don't really know yet. I'm not completely against it, but I don't have any direct plans right now. No projects lined up, no solo music or anything like that. I honestly just want to take it a bit slow, give myself at least 3 months, hopefully, on my own to discover what I really want to do. I think that that space to think and to contemplate and reflect will be really important for me, because when I tell you that I've woken up every day for the past 6 years and immediately thought about what group project or to-do list needs to be done, yeah. It's been great. I've been so motivated. Like I said, I've had a pathway, I've had a passion, I've had something to always work towards, and that's brought me so much. But I now need to like step away from that, even though it's great. Step away from that and give myself a little bit of time. Philly Emil asked, the 4 of you will still do some activities together in the future. Wish you all the best. So yes, obviously Pip and I were sisters. We're going to be involved in each other's life for the rest of our lives. And the other two, T and Beth, of course, we have such a bond connection from doing this experience. And of course that it will go on, that will continue. We don't have any plans lined up right now after the graduation. We, like I said, we just need some time apart from each other to figure out what we want to do next, but I'm pretty sure that the other girls will be collaborating in Brisbane and probably at events all around Australia, if I'm honest. I know that Pip really wants to push for her cosplay market convention that she's running, along with entering a few big competitions this year, so be sure to follow her and give her your support if you're interested in seeing what she gets up to. Jaggy Eliam asked, will you keep wearing your melopara costumes for solo shows? I definitely plan on keeping my costumes. I think that they're really, really special to me, but they do need a bit of TLC after wearing them for so many performances. They are like, I want to say they're not falling apart, but they are very well loved. They are, they probably have a second layer of my skin on the costumes, but I definitely want to keep them. I don't know if I'll continue to wear them on my own in the future, because honestly, as a designer, I feel like always wearing what I have. I've worn those costumes so many times, and I want to give myself the chance to create, leave inspiration for new costumes, for new designs in the future, and ones that reflect more my personality. Like I said, I've always catered to the group and what the group's image, the branding, and things like that, whereas stepping out on my own will really give me that freedom, that creativity to do whatever I want. And it's not like I didn't have that in the group, it's more that I always had to kind of conform and always kind of like compromise a little bit. Like, it's fine, it's good, it's really good to learn to compromise and to share and everything like that. These are really important life skills, and I'm really glad that I have that as part of who I am now. And so there are a lot of you who asked what the future plans is. Now, I am working on something in the background. It's something that I haven't wanted to talk about online just yet, because I don't want to like count my chickens before they've hatched kind of thing. I'm terrified that if I announce it, it won't actually happen. So I'm in the process right now. I'll give you a little hint, because then you can kind of figure it out. If you're a clever cookie, you'll figure it out. But I have put in an application for a visa, and I am yet to have that visa approved. Hopefully in the next few coming days, and hopefully at graduation, at the show, I'll be able to announce what visa that is for and what I'll be doing next. So much of my next plan and my next steps depend on this visa, but even if it doesn't go through, I really want to focus on running my business and developing my skills as a seamstress, as a designer, because I think it's something that's always called my name, and I really know that there's so much to learn, to get better at, and to study, and I just want to make more cute costumes. I want to fill the world with more cute colorful outfits and that make people happy, that make people smile. So I really need to learn more about pattern grading and sizing and everything like that. That I'm just a self-taught seamstress. I'm doing my best, but I want to learn more about fashion history wherever I can. If I could get a mentor, that would be awesome, but for now I'm just gonna figure it out on my own. And I really want to bring you along for the process. So I really want to get a bit better at YouTube, because I am terrified actually of sitting down and filming these kinds of videos, but when I actually do it, it feels great, and it feels like I can actually have a closer to a relationship to you. You can understand who I am better, and that feels good to know that you know me as a real person, not just as a cosplayer, not just as an idol, but as me, as Maya, as Marmalade. So whilst I can't give you all of the answers for our future, I hope that that kind of gives you a little bit of a vision of what we're all working towards. Of course, the other members will have their own future plans, and I don't want to speak for anyone on their account. So I think T is also going to make a video, so please check out her channel if you'd like to know T's personal accounts. Now, what I wasn't expecting from this Q&A was the amount of people, the amount of you who said just the impact that we've had as a group on you as an individual, and I just don't know what to do about these feelings. Like you guys said, you guys really inspired me to dream big, and I'm hoping to achieve similar things with my group. And thank you for your hard work with melopara over the last 3 years, and I'm proud of you. And a lot of you said you're gonna miss us, and I guess when we're in the thick of it, and when I'm in the thick of organizing everything for the show, in the stress of it, I kind of forget how many of you were impacted, I guess, by what we did. And sometimes it just felt like silly little dress-up games, but really I've come to see it as more than that. And there's no real hard evidence, I guess, but the way that you react and the things that you say, I guess, make me believe that what we've done is a really positive thing here, because I don't want to be seen as a superficial, influencer, or somebody who always is pink and sparkly and rainbows. Like, I do want to be able to talk about the hard things in life as well, but frame them, I guess, in a positive manner, or in a way that they can help you feel better, not in a toxic positivity way, but just in a contemplative. I think that when you understand things better with more information, it gives you more evidence to kind of draw your own conclusions. And the conclusion that I've decided to draw is that the impact that we've had, not only online, but in person, was something really positive, and I'm really proud of that. I can walk away knowing that Melody Parade left a good impact on the world, whether it's just cheered you up or motivated you to do something, motivated you to get out of bed that day. Especially seeing younger girls or femme presenting people being able to feel uplifted and inspired by us is the best, honestly. I do just want to say, like, one of the things that really got to me was not being able to do more in-person events. I found that in Brisbane, we just really struggled to find a place where we could host our community events. You might know that Genki Market, the event that we used to go to quite often, ended up being so full that there was no room for us to dance anymore. We got pushed out of doing those events. We couldn't go anymore. And virtually every venue hire that we tried to find ended up being over the $2,000 mark. And as a group that runs pretty much a non-for-profit, we could not afford to pay that much every time. So a large contribution for us not being able to function really the same way as a group anymore was not being able to find a community space. Our community space ended up being online, and online is a really treacherous place to navigate, and we were partially bullied, on TikTok. We ended up on the wrong side of TikTok, on the K-pop side of TikTok, where a lot of people accused us of cultural appropriation and all of that, all of those things, not very nice things. I really wish we'd been able to have more in-person shows, but I felt like we did everything that we could to make that happen. I know that we just went and did a show in Sydney, and being able to be part of that physical community in person was just so magical. Like, especially in this ever digital age, I feel like it's so important to be going out and connecting with each other in person. And then I just had a few questions at the end that I couldn't really sort into the categories. So Starry Melody Art asked, any one any one last time checkies or anything. And Gamatsuri said, can I get all the Idol card stickers before the merch is gone forever? So I just wanted to say that we are having our graduation show. We are pulling together the last of our might, the last little send off. We wanted to positively exit the community by holding a free live show that's going to be held on the 18th of February at the Ron Hurley Theaterette. And so you can register for a free ticket. I'm pretty sure we only have 60 spots left. So I know that might sound like a lot, but it's going to be a big show. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. We are going to try and set up the live stream, and then there is some merch available for that as well. But yeah, I know that probably a lot of you are maybe disappointed in me or in us for not being able to bring it together to last longer. And I even got some guy asking like, when's your next song, or like devastated, when's your next song? But like, I guess, I don't know, we've probably set those expectations up. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to meet your expectations in going any further with Melody Parade. But like I said, the most important thing to me is right now that I have some alone time. Have some alone time as an adult to figure things out, because I am a real person. I have a real life. Throughout all of Melody Parade, I've been studying a degree, I've been working part-time, and I've been burnt out a lot as well, on top of all my sewing and everything. It's a lot of effort and energy to keep going, but it's something that I love. I do love working this hard for my dreams, and I hope that I can eventually, hopefully this year, make the jump into full-time content creation or full-time sewing, full-time away from a part-time job. That would be fantastic. And who knows, maybe I'll be able to do Idol things where I'm going next, but I'll just have to wait as things reveal themselves as we go. And if you're someone who was inspired by us and ever felt the urge to create your own group, I still really urge you and to take that step. Even maybe if you see us disbanding and think, oh, there's no point, if Melody Parade couldn't make it work, then how am I gonna make it work? Like, I don't want anyone to think that. I think that there is now a room, there is now a space who's going to take that place next of our group. I want to see the newcomers. I'm in my mid-20s now. I would love to see some younger people, some more talented people. I know that there are so many incredible creators in Australia and around the world who maybe are following Melody Parade, but I want to leave in our wake the opportunity for somebody else to come in and join the Idol community, because it is a fantastic space to grow in. You learn about confidence, you learn about personal branding, you learn how to interact with the community, and also like so many other life lessons along the way. I'm sorry if you can hear the vacuuming. I'm trying to, hopefully my mic is working well. Okay. I hope that I've been able to answer your questions and maybe make you understand a little bit more about what is going on behind the scenes. Maybe you can understand why I couldn't put this all into my Instagram stories. And yeah, I hope that you can understand that this is not a final goodbye, but rather just a see you next time, however that might be. I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'm sure I'll see you on the internet. But if you would like to subscribe, it would mean the world to me, because I am trying, like I said, to become a full-time creator if I can. We got this. Yep, leave me a like, comment if you didn't get your question answered, and if you have any other questions, I'm more than happy to honestly answer them, because sharing is caring. The more we understand each other, the less conflict we will have, if that makes sense. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.